Hello, hello, everybody. Let's get ready for another live stream, shall we? Let's get ready for another live, my friends. Who we got into this live stream? Let me know in the comments. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I see a bunch of you joining now. Welcome, everybody. Say hi in the chat if you're in the live stream today. So we got Capo in the live. Beautiful stuff. Welcome, Mystery T. My boy is always present. Welcome, the Attack Titan. Welcome to the live stream. We got 10 people watching. How are you guys doing today? 11 people. How's everybody doing today? Welcome, Alexander. BTC analysis. We can do that. We can do that. I really wanted to do the Q&As as well today, kind of to answer your questions, guys. Understand what you guys are wondering about the market, your biggest hurdles, things like that. I got you covered today, guys. To all people, let's go. All right. Let's start, shall we? Okay. Of course, here we got Bitcoin. I sent an update on Involio regarding a BTC short in which I'm in, and basically, this is not the best entry record I've gotten. I'll start with that. It's kind of hard to update everybody. VIP open the trades across multiple platforms, then do it everywhere. That's the thing. Not the best entry. I was also outside for a day, but I did send on Involio the notification where I said, while we were closing this candle over here, I said the next 4 hours are crucial for Bitcoin. And basically, that's why I said that you close below 90K. You got this W formation, M formation, also known as a double top. There is a possibility, a slim chance, which is why I put the SL at 91 of a potential drive back to resistance just to test it. Guys, what question do you have today for me? I see a bunch of requests in terms of technical analysis, but I'd be very curious to know, questions besides the air. Let me know. Send them away so that I know where to start. Otherwise, we can do some discussions regarding Bitcoin. Why I am overall still a little bit bearish. Not just with the trade. I always stated that my focus right now is the altcoins. Altseason is my baby, and I like it that way. That is what I'm currently focusing on at this moment in time. Kobe, can you explain why Gary's replacement will be worse? Good question, my friend. Um, I won't get too deep into it simply because there is a way bigger discussion that needs to be had in order for you to understand why I believe that the next SEC chair will be worse than Gary. But if you look at the Trump administration, right? Trump is basically starting his second term in an economy that witnessed a pandemic. Trump, last time that he was in charge, was not in that situation. Since then, the economy got worse. And yes, that does not have necessarily much to do about the SEC chair. But look at the people that are joining Trump in his administration. We got the likes of people like Elon Musk, which you guys may think that it's a good thing because you believe that Elon Musk is a good guy. But the way that I look at it is this guy is surrounding himself with yes men, people that will say yes to anything that he will say. And that's where I'm a little bit worried because while, yes, the market may have initially reacted in a bullish manner to Trump going back into power, is still not the president officially. You could be in a situation where perhaps the markets have already priced in a Trump administration, and you don't really know if it will continue this way. You look at the markets, right, as a whole, and I'm not talking about just Bitcoin. I'm not talking about just crypto. I'm talking about stocks, commodities. They're all trading at all-time highs. Why is that? You guys believe that it will go up in a straight line? I don't. That's why I stated that I think that the Gary replacement will be worse. It feels like, from a technical standpoint, right? There's many targets that suggest downside. In some way, shape, or form, that has to eventually materialize. And, we don't necessarily know the narrative just yet that could cause something like that. However, it's just something that we need to pay attention to because there is multiple things that, especially if you guys are in the VIP, I actually covered regarding the total market cap charts. And they all seem like at some point, not saying right now, at some point things will get really, really ugly in the crypto sphere. But that is something for another day. That's why I didn't really want to talk too much about why I think that Gary's replacement will be worse. Drake, what strategy do you use to trade? Um, I do technical analysis based on what I see on the chart. I've been trading since 2017. That's 7 years. It's been 4 years, almost five next year, of me being in the charts almost every day, pretty much. So I'm in a situation where things like indicators actually cover things that I may consider useful. So in order to answer your question, I just do price action. It feels like there's this process that every beginner has to go through where initially you start by drawing shit on your chart, right? You draw trend lines, support and resistances, right? And then you start to overcomplicate it by adding things like initially EMAs. Then you feel like that is not enough. You start to add RSIs, MACDs, and so on, right? I've been there. Now, because I've trained my eyes, right, to see price action so much time developing, I just use technical and price action essentially. So right now Bitcoin is taking a little bit of a dump. And you're in a situation where, let me just start by saying this, right? You'd zoom out. This has been going up pretty much non-stop since you have made that 49K low. Yes, you did have a couple of retracements along the way. Let's actually measure the percentages of its retracements. 19%. 11%. I wouldn't even call this a retracement. This one is 8%. So, you've been on a steady decreasing retracement trend, right? So to speak, since you made the 49K low. When I opened this position in volume, a couple of you guys said, yo, the TP is huge, man. Is it really that huge if you think about it? Compared to how much this has went up? That's approximately from the all-time high that was made 14% to the downside. Like, don't ignore the expansion that you've had throughout all this time. Because that expansion, right, has been way higher than any retracement that you have witnessed so far, right? You are getting removed right away. Thank you, Mats. LOL, why did you mark the TP as 79.5? Do you really think it's gonna go that low? Good question. Oops, my bad. So why did I choose the TP at 79.5? I actually shared you guys, right, the swore range in which we have been in on Involio. I told you that you needed to watch 90K and 79.5. You go on my latest post. I think I have also done it yesterday, and these two values over here were present. Therefore, you should be interpreting this as me giving you support and resistance levels, right? And essentially, how did I get those levels? Let's go on the daily time frame. Actually, let's go on the weekly. We need to zoom out a little bit more for this. The main trend lines that you have right now, guys, are these two trend lines over here that you can draw from the previous all-time highs, okay? And this is what you see me do on this current chart, where from the 65K all-time high, you have these 2 wicks that you can use as a reference point as to where you can expect price to go to, because they are all-time highs, right? What are you going to use at all-time highs? You are in a territory, right, where price has never been at. So the only thing that you have at this moment in time, unless you have tools like the book map, where you can see where orders are currently placed, which I do, but I don't really use that much at this moment in time. You can only use Fibonacci's, Elliott wave, and trend lines. Okay, so I use the trend lines over here, and once we have hit 90K, you can see that we actually, on the weekly, we actually started to retract in quite a significant manner by leaving this big wick over here. I'm not saying this wick cannot be filled. However, on the daily time frame, you can see quite clearly that 90K has been resistance. Okay, so what is the next logical point of support? 79.5, according to the trend lines. You can see that in the previous candle, right, we broke through it, but we didn't really retest it, right? So therefore, this is why I'm looking more at 79.5. Now, of course, it goes without saying that you may experience a couple of bounces along the way, but ultimately, I believe that this is, at the very least, the very first target. And I'm not even considering, right, the fact that we could easily start to go towards 72. Okay, I much rather take things step by step at this moment in time. But realistically speaking, this is also another level of support and resistance that you didn't really retest, right? On the first try above this particular level of resistance, you tried to get above it, but you failed at it, right? Then you add a big impulse to the upside, but you didn't retest it as a support. And if you want to see continuation, right, regardless of the trend, as you break certain levels, you want to see price actually confirming that the trend can continue. That's why I'm looking at 79.5. I think that it can go lower, but I'll be very happy with the trade at 79.5. Trump says he wants to make IVF treatments paid by government. Do you think that that's some pharmacy companies? Good question, my friend. Good question. How can I answer this without saying too much? Let's just say, and the people in the VP will testify for me, but my stock portfolio is actually made up of a lot of companies that fall for some reason in that category, and I've been buying these stocks for some months now. I actually started buying these stocks on October of 2023, I believe. Was it October of 2023? Yeah, it's been a year. Crazy. But anyway, yes, I think that they will pump. There is some. There's one specific, maybe even two. I don't remember. One or two stocks in my portfolio that right now are up 600%. I kid you not, they're up 600%. And I am actually aiming for a return up to potentially 3,800%. So, I believe that the pharmacy companies will start to do very, very good. Anything that is health related, I think that they will do very, very good going into 2025. Perhaps not right away, but during the year, I believe that they will do good. That is because, you look around, right? Throughout the summer, you heard about monkeypox. Now we have bird flu also coming up. So, you have a lot of these health threats that could potentially get you into a pandemic all of a sudden, which has been my discussion as to why I'm one foot in and 1 foot out when it comes to crypto. My portfolio consists of 50% cash, 50% altcoins. You go up, I win. You go down, I win even bigger. So that has been my mindset so far, because I do believe that at some point in time we will see somewhat of a black swan. Eddie, if we go that low, will the bull run still be in effect? Good question, my friend. So, okay, that actually leads me to the next point, which is a very important thing that I actually wanted to cover in today's live stream, because if you have seen my videos on YouTube, which I release completely for free, right? I actually gave you a game plan in terms of my expectations when it comes to Bitcoin and why a retracement will not be that bad. I'll give you guys a snippet of a discussion that I've had yesterday with a VIP on the live stream that I made today for the members. And I want to cover something that I'm willing to share with you guys today. In the last live stream, sorry, it was the podcast, but it was a live stream. I believe I pulled out this chart, which is the developed countries' interest rates. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take a screenshot. And we are going to be working on this particular chart that many of you guys may have never seen. And what we're going to do here is actually go back in time to the last cycle. We're going to be enlarging this. And essentially what this chart represents is a visual representation of the interest rates throughout all these years, right? Since 2009, after the financial crisis, okay? So this is June of 2019. So I'm just going to be putting this approximately where it should be. Should be somewhere around here. It's actually a little bit. Where is it? Over here. Cool. So let's have a look at the interest rates, okay? Because you guys, well, not you guys specifically necessarily, but you absolutely heard that every single time that we cut interest rates, that will be a bullish thing, right? What if I tell you that that is not necessarily the case just yet? Because, well, let's have a look at the interest rates right now compared to before. So, what do you notice instantly? That right now, in terms of price, this particular high for Bitcoin, right, was a steady uptrend, very similar to what we have right now. And essentially, back then, it was just Bitcoin fulfilling this move to the upside. Altcoins weren't doing that much. Let me actually overlap an altcoin. Which altcoin should I pick? I think XRP could do the job. Maybe something like Filecoin should do better. Okay, so essentially here, what you've gotten is this. Let me actually make this a little bit smaller. But as you guys can see, right, this is an altcoin compared to Bitcoin back then, right? And during this move to the upside, which I'm going to highlight a little bit better, this is where Bitcoin bottomed and where Bitcoin essentially topped, right? Before we have seen that pandemic low come in, right? This is the candle of March 2020, essentially when we went into a lockdown, right? And you can see that throughout this time, Filecoin, which is one of the many altcoins that did this, didn't really pump that much. It went up with it a little bit, but it didn't really do that much. It didn't break any previous highs. Matter of fact, it was still in a bear market, very similar to what we have here for Bitcoin as well. Okay, so this is the first thing that we wanted to cover here, which is that altcoins, right, back then didn't really do much. But why am I talking about altcoins in this specific time frame? Very simple. Let's go back to this particular chart that we have over here. Let me try to align it once more. and should be somewhere around this. Okay, so you can see that during the middle of 2019 we started to get interest rate cuts. Okay, this area over here, which is where Bitcoin found this short-term top, right? What do we see? It's a similar situation as to what we have going on right now. Also, what do you notice happening? That as the interest rates, right, start to get cut more aggressively, right, the Bitcoin price, instead of doing what you hear people telling you every single time, right, about it going up and this being a bullish thing, price actually started to retrace. Why is that? Isn't the interest rate cuts something that are deemed to be bullish? What is going on? Now, fast forward a little bit. Let's enter the pandemic time frame. Okay, this is where, let me actually remove this. Doesn't matter. We can keep this. Cool. This is where, because there was a global emergency, right? What did they do? First of all, they took the interest rates back down to ground zero, right? And from there onwards, throughout this time, notice what happened. The interest rates stayed down while the Bitcoin price started to go into a major rally. And that major rally that I'm talking about is the rally of 2020 and 2021. The biggest cycle that we've had so far, not in terms of ROI, but in terms of popularity and notoriety of the crypto market. This happened when the interest rates went to pretty much zero, right? Why is that in particular the case? Because essentially what rate cuts tell you is that there is some underlying issue within the economy that requires at some point quantitative easing to be applied. What is quantitative easing? In simple terms, the printing of money. Okay? And that is what helped fulfill the bull run of 2021 entirely. It was essentially money printing. People could not go home and they were given money for doing absolutely nothing, right? What do? Well, because they were at home and they were scrolling consistently on social media, well, they saw Bitcoin popping up many times across the day, right? So many of them said, you know what, let me try to invest some of this money that I've been given by the government into crypto, right? But you look around the economy right now, and you can also look at the recent surveys, right? And people are not in that same situation right now, where, you know, they don't have money to invest. The economy has been getting worse. Inflation has been getting worse. And people are not getting paid the way that they should in order to withstand an inflationary economy. Okay, so we fast forward to the price action of today, right? And we apply this chart once again. What do you see? That as we have just seen, right, euphoric cycles come after the interest rate chart has flattened. You are not there yet. Okay, and just like last time, Bitcoin actually topped after rate cuts started to happen in this sort of time frame over here, which is very similar to what we have going on right now. Which is why, as I've said publicly, I don't think that Bitcoin has that much more upside. And the more we go up now, the worse will be the drop. Okay, look at it from an ROI perspective if you don't believe me. What are you going to do? Buy Bitcoin right now at 88K? For what exactly? For 100K? Okay, cool. Let's have a look at how that stands in terms of percentages. Cool, that's 13%. Is that the life-changing gains that you're looking for on crypto? No, right? So you need to understand that the lower we go, the bigger the opportunity will present itself. The lower we go, the bigger the ROI upon a pullback back up. So essentially what I'm talking about here is that if we are going to be mirroring, right, what has happened previously in history, then what we should be waiting for is something like this where, you know, we start to flatten with the interest rates, and of course the Bitcoin price will be affected and it will start to go down as well. And once we reach into this territory over here, just like last time, you can see the time frames as well, 2020, 2021, 2022. Those were the golden days for crypto last time, right? So you want to see the situation over here where we go down, and then quantitative easing due to a black swan event or whatever bad event they have planned for us, right, will allow money printing to go back, and we start to move up in a crazy manner, okay? So essentially what I'm talking about is I'm waiting for the mirror of the last cycle to happen. So hopefully I answered your question when Eddie, as to what happens if we go that low and if the bull run will still be in effect. The answer is yes, absolutely. You need to understand that if people are not able to, you know, actually afford to invest right now, then who is pushing the price higher for Bitcoin? Of course, it's not me and you that can impact these markets. Therefore, it's some group of big entities that are currently pumping the price of Bitcoin. But these entities over here will want to rotate their capital in other assets. How do you do that? You essentially need to take your money out of your current investment. So if their current investment is Bitcoin, right, they will need to sell that at some point to create the rotation. That's why when I hear people say, right, Altseason now, I get so pissed. I really do, because it puts a lot of people that are beginners at a danger. What people believe when they read somebody with more followers than them telling them that right now it's the Altseason, bro, buy. And dips are good for buying, which is not necessarily true always, is that you get this idea about the bull market that it should continue to go up and your altcoins will go up as well with it. That is not the case, because essentially what needs to happen is a money rotation. You go to the path to the Altseason. What do you hear? What is it written over here? Money flow. So money has to flow from one asset to another. That's why it's divided in 4 different phases. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, and from Ethereum to the large cap, and then you get Altseason, where essentially large caps have gone full vertical, mid caps, low caps, micro caps all tend to pump because they are part of the same ecosystem, which is cryptocurrencies. Okay, so essentially there has to be some sort of reason to make the market dump, so that these people can dump Bitcoin effectively to as low as they'd like, right? So that they can actually start to rotate on undervalued assets. What is undervalued right now? Altcoins. Altcoins have not catched up that much, right? Because compared to Bitcoin, then altcoins, technically speaking, should be at their all-time highs. But do you see that happening across the board? Except for a couple handful of altcoins? No. They're trading on range lows. Like, have a look at something like Field, for example, right? Is this mirroring Bitcoin at this moment in time? No. Look at what has happened in the past, however, right? This instantly started to pump in a very crazy manner. And from the bottom of COVID, right, we went up almost 10,000%. Guys, that is 100x right there. It's actually 95, but you get the point, right? So quantitative easing is what allows, right, these people to rotate their money from Bitcoin to the altcoin, so that retail, right, get their money once again for free, and they will be wanting to invest that money once again, as they will see altcoins starting to pump. Okay. Drake Diary, opinion on meme coins. How many people are in the live? 12 people. I salute all of you guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out the links down below if you want to find more about what we do over here at Profit Manage. Opinion on the meme coins. I think that meme coins are gonna be one of these alpha categories, right? And what I mean by alpha categories, well, in the last cycle it was gaming, right? We had tokens like AXS pumping a lot. We had decentralized platforms such as Mana, Sand, all these coins right there. I feel like meme coins will be one of the meta categories this time around as well. Just like AI was at the start of the cycle, right? Meme coins, I feel like they will go into a super cycle. I feel like right now, with Pepe moving to the all-time high, which one was it? Peanut popping out of nowhere. You know, Peanut reminds me a lot of Shiba in the last run. Shiba was actually released. Let me actually compare it on Filecoin, because Filecoin actually gives you a very good representation about how this cycle, in my opinion, will play out this time around. Let's pull out Shiba, okay? So this is the, yep, this is it, line. Cool. So you can see that Shiba was actually released, right? Towards the end of 2021. And that's where we got this huge pump out of nowhere that was actually short-term lived. And please mind that I'm on the weekly time frame, so this was a bit of time, realistically speaking, but it wasn't that much. The pump lasted for 50 days approximately. Okay. Yeah, 49 days. You get the gist. And essentially, every single time I see this, it's a very cautious sort of vibe where, you know, I get well, not scared, because I'm optimistic when it comes to the downside. But you know, my warning signs, right? My caution signs start to pop out, and I feel like there is a major event about to be released that will not impact the market in a very nice manner. And you can see how Shiba, right, came out of nowhere, got the interest of pretty much everybody, because in terms of percentages, it went up like crazy, right? Well, no, this is not the right way to represent it. Let me actually go back, find the Shiba chart, the original Shiba chart. And this is where it started to pop off. Yes, this was created in 2020, but nobody really traded this. Essentially, this didn't last that much. Yeah, 85,000%. But yeah, essentially started to come out of the shadows, right, so to speak, during April of 2021. By that time, the cycle was had already began, right? So what I'm trying to say is that when you see this sort of coins coming out, it's usually a warning sign. You can see that initially Shiba started to pump, right? But then it started to retrace. And from this side over here, it actually retraced almost 83%, 85 actually, to be exact, right? And you can bet that the rest of the market did the same thing. Let me actually try to overlap Bitcoin. New price scale, let's do that. And I'm gonna be using the lines because it's a little bit easier to see. And yeah, essentially you can see that once Shiba made its high, right? Bitcoin, on the other hand, was actually making a head and shoulder formation. One, the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And this is where most retail, right, got in on Shiba, right? As this was pumping. Trust me, nobody bought this over here when it comes to normal retail, and I'd be very surprised if anyone bought it over here. They bought the big green candles. Trust me on that. And you can see that the market already started to go down, which is very interesting. And then essentially Shiba, right, started to retrace with the rest of the market until it eventually bottomed with the rest of the market. And as Bitcoin went and done a new all-time high, well, actually Shiba did it before then, but Shiba has been a top indicator in the past, right? And I really feel like Peanut now is that version of Shiba, where we will see a very similar situation start to be created um, when it comes to Peanut and Bitcoin and the rest of the market, in my personal opinion. Let's go back to the Bitcoin chart. Guys, drop the other questions. Be very interesting to see some other questions as well. Okay, Bitcoin. Here it is. You overlap something like, I cannot even do the weekly because this is a very new coin. You go on Peanut. Oh, my bad. I meant to overlap it. This is Peanut. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't just showed you something very similar that happened in the past with Shiba and Bitcoin? That as the market started to dump, right? Shiba was pumping and it was creating its high, right? Peanut, in my honest opinion, is doing the same exact thing. Honestly, it's getting people euphoric, buying buying it once it has already pumped severely to the upside. Let me see how up it went from the very beginning. Yeah, 3,250% approximately. And people are buying this. I saw this on Involio, so I know it's true. People are buying it right now. That's why yesterday I made this thread that I will try to find. And this is so important. I really want to see you guys all read it if you haven't already. It's so important. I kid you not. Let's see if we can load it. I made a thread that is tailored to beginners to understand how they should actually behave at this moment in time in the market. Refreshing this. It's taking a bit to load, man. What is happening on Involio? My God, this is taking little bit too long for my likings. Um, I posted it elsewhere as well, so it doesn't matter. On the Discord, I posted it here. Essentially, you're stated for the investors. You can read it all if you want, but essentially, why did I make the thread in the first place? Because I stated that I've seen so many of you jumping on whatever the popular coin is that is pumping at the moment and or on the biggest gainers of the day. If you're in this category, this thread is for you. And I'm not going to read it through all of it, but you will find this on Involio as well. Okay, and it's very important that you do, because it will explain literally what I just showed you on the chart. As I stated, that why are you trying to onboard the train that has already left the station? I've seen so many of you guys jumping into Doge, Pepe, and Peanut now that they have pumped, and everybody on social media is already talking about it. You always hear people say buy low and sell high, but are you actually doing that, or are you buying high and hoping to sell higher, right? So I really want you guys to read all of this, because it's so crucial for you to understand if you actually want to make some sort of actual life-changing money in this cycle, because it's literally the mirror of what I've seen in the past. And I'm not surprised that these meme coins are not popping out of nowhere, like Peanut, right? It was a Solana coin that has a 2-week lifetime. 2-week lifetime, right? And it's now worth more than $2 billion. And I'm sure that it has increased in the last few hours. Like, are you kidding me? Where is that money coming from? Right? And the first signal that I got about it, that, made me extremely careful about the market. Not like, as if I wasn't. I was already careful in the market, but now more than ever, is the fact that this particular coin instantly got listed everywhere. Like, look at it. Even exchanges like OKX, that literally nobody uses, or BitMEX. How many of you guys even know what BitMEX is, right? But you can see that all these exchanges have already posted it everywhere for people to buy. It's astonishing. When you see things like that, be very, very careful. Binance, why doesn't it list coins that deserve it more than Peanut, for example? There's many meme coins that I found on on-chain Solana, right, that should be trading on Binance, that have a bigger lifespan, in my opinion, a better community than Peanut, but are not there just yet. So why is that? It feels like something that has been created exactly for this particular reason. Drake, do I trade the Nasdaq? No, but I do monitor all of these charts. So yeah, I mean, I watch all these charts over here. I trade gold, sometimes the S&P, but very rarely. I also do trade forex. So yeah, this is what I'm currently looking at. We can see that Bitcoin is taking a little pump to the upside, but nothing too significant. If I can get a better entry, perhaps I can DCA, push the SL a little bit higher, which I would really love for that to happen, because you are creating some sort of a bearish fib that is still missing a potential retracement back to 90K. It's a potential retracement because at the end of the day, you have broken this level of resistance, right? Of previous support, sorry, but you didn't really confirm it as resistance just yet. So if you were to see a pump over here, it will make sense to DCA a little bit more into it, moving the stop loss to 93.4. And yeah, just get a better positioning overall. But at this moment, this is the trade. If I get the signals to act on it, I will. But I'm being adding an alert on this, so I can keep track of it. How many people are in the live? 7 people. Let's get more people in this. What all-time high can Ethereum reach? So I think I have to switch to a screen that I don't really share. Give me a second, because I want to show you the screen over here. Let me see if I can show you guys. No, let's do it on a clean chart. Let's do it on a clean chart. First of all, why are you talking about Ethereum? Is it because it has pumped recently, because I got a weird feeling that that is the main reason as to why you're asking. But anyway, I will cover Ethereum for you as well. Ethereum all-time high. Well, if I just showed you why I believe that the market can go lower, I will start off by saying that I think that Ethereum has lower to go. What I'm doing right now is actually showing you guys the ranges in which price is in, which is this one. This is the main range that price is currently in. You can see that this is the high of the range, this is the low. And every time you try to break above it, you actually failed all the times, right? And I don't really trust this move enough to say that it will break this time around, because you're actually in a scenario where you're making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and potentially lower lows. Okay, so even if you were to go to 3,500, which I do believe is realistic, unless you start to get back to the 4,000 area, and even then, until you take out the all-time high, it will still be deemed as a bearish sequence. I feel like this has way lower to go, way lower than some people can imagine. Okay, and this is a process, right? I give you higher time frames to work with, so it's not like every single time there's a bounce, oh shit, this is the bottom, right? Because that's what a lot of people do on the lower time frames. Here I stick to the higher time frames, just so you guys can go and back and watch this at a later date to kind of understand what price has done and if my theory still stands valid. But essentially, until you're inside of this range, which, by the way, let's give more context to this range. It's a premium and discount range. Okay, every time you're at a premium, you are overbought, and every time you're at a discount, which is this gray area over here, you're at a discount. And I think that you can agree with me when I say that Ethereum is actually overbought at this moment in time. If you go on the higher range, which is the all-time high to the bear market low, you still have traded, and ignored the price action before because the range only formed after making the low. You have actually traded for the past few months at premiums, okay? And this was just a move to the upside. So yes, you spent some time at a discount, but it was just so that you could go back at a premium, so to speak. And within this overall range, you are now within this more specific range, okay? And therefore, I feel like a break of 879 could be coming, so to speak. And in terms of how high, the way that you should be looking at a lot of these coins is this. From the high, from the previous side to the high, to, let's see which makes the most sense. Potentially even this, honestly. Well, not really. This does make a lot more sense. So, this is your parallel channel that you currently have going on in Ethereum, I would say. And it's clear as day that every time you try to step into it, you actually failed so far into the cycle, which is why, I don't believe that the real Altseason is here, which is why I'm publicly calling for lower. Because only when you are going lower do you have a bigger chance at actually increasing in price. Because even if you don't get back into the parallel channel, right? Let's assume that we do break this low. I'm not going to give you guys exact targets as to where I believe that it will go, but I'm just giving you 880, which is already a very good, valid area to focus on. But what do you notice on this parallel channel? That it keeps on going higher. So while you may not get back into it, you should be in for something along the lines of this, where you tap the low of the range, okay? The same way that you have liquidated the high of it, you're now potentially looking at lower and liquidating the low of the range. And upon a push to the upside, you can see that while we may not get back into the parallel channel, that will still create a new all-time high. Okay, so let's first stick to this basis just to understand how high Ethereum can potentially go. And of course, I'm just giving you guys hypothetical figures. It's not me calling for the exact high or anything like that. Should be obvious by now. Um, but yeah, I mean, look, the current fib that you have in play upon a break lower will be this. This is the current fib that you have. And the next logical point for this Fibonacci, after taking out the all-time high, will definitely be this level over here. That is currently 6K. With a high probability of, if it were to continue higher, of finding resistance, in my personal opinion, between 7 to 8K. There is a scenario of going a little bit higher than that, but if I were to give you some conservative targets that I deem as a little bit more realistic, those will be the levels that I will focus on, honestly speaking. 6 to 7, 8, 7.8. And if you know where you should be buying this, right? Let's assume that you buy at this low. You are, in terms of ROI, you're in for a push to around 600 to 800%. 6 to 800%. You know, that's why I asked you at the beginning. Are you asking about Ethereum because it's currently pumping and you think that it can go higher, or because are you actually interested in investing in Ethereum? Because Ethereum is kind of like Bitcoin. It's more for the people that have a very, very big amount of money. You know, while of course with the correct size, 600% move to the upside can give you substantial gains. I wouldn't necessarily consider that life changing. If you put 10K, right, 10K, that could potentially turn to around 60 to 80K, right? Yes, that is a substantial increase, but I wouldn't necessarily consider that life changing. It's not like we're talking about 10 to 500K, right, or something like that. That's why, my main focus, right, with the group is telling people which altcoins are actually worth buying and where they should buy them for the best ROI. Ethereum does not fall into that category. You can buy it because, according to the chart, Ethereum would pump, theoretically speaking, before certain altcoins. But at what cost? Of you potentially giving up better coins that net a bigger ROI, that yes may pump a little bit later, but you have no guarantees afterwards of being able to buy certain altcoins at their best possible prices. So if you play your cards correctly, you can potentially consider money rotation away from Ethereum and into altcoins afterwards. However, it's not so recommended to most people. Okay. So I do believe that Ethereum will make a new all-time high, but it may not be in the same way that a lot of people expect that to happen. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Interested about what Bitcoin is doing right now. Oops. I have so many charts I cannot even find the correct one. Which one was it? So, can Solana reach 1K because of meme coins? 1K? Why 1K? You know, man, that's the thing, man. You know, I understand. I know why you're asking these questions. I exactly know why. And look, your life changing gains don't come from coins like this. That's the best way that I can put it. They don't come from coins that have already pumped. Let me put it into perspective, right? I just gave you Ethereum. I showed you that, hypothetically speaking, while creating a new all-time high, if you manage to buy the bottom, the potential bottom that is, that's just 600 to 800%, right? Let's go back to Filecoin, right? Why are you not talking about this? Oh, because it looks like it's dead. I know. Did it look like it was dead over here? But look at what it has done afterwards. Now, I'm not saying that it will repeat exactly what it did before, right? However, let's assume that you buy this now, which is not me telling you to do so, but just so you guys understand what it means to understand ROI. Because at the beginning, you know, we just buy things because either someone else bought it or because it's pumping or whatever wrong reason, right? Look at what I've just done. I dragged from the current price of Filecoin, right? I'm not even at all-time highs. I'm pointing it to $93, right? Which is not an all-time high. And it's already reflecting a way bigger percentage than Solana or Ethereum can ever give you. That's why I say, man, be careful. Like, I understand that some people, when you tell them, look, there is a VIP or things like that. I know I talk about this a lot, but it's for a good reason, right? They feel like, oh no, this guy is asking for money. He's asking for money. Okay, cool. Do it by yourself, right? Because I've been there, and that's why when I get these questions, right, I get why you're asking them, but I know that it's not beneficial because there's so many better opportunities that you guys need to understand that you are not able to see right now, and you kind of need to envision them happening, so to speak, right? I literally just showed you one coin that does not require you to hit all-time highs that will provide a way better return if we do hit $93, of course, but we're not talking about all-time highs. Let's go back to Solana and let's see if that is realistic. 2000%, right? 2000%, assuming you buy now, or let's be even more optimistic, right? Let's assume you bought it at 125 bucks. 2000%, right? Requires you to see Solana going up to $2,760. Do you think that is realistic? I don't. I don't. I was around, right, to see Solana drop to $8. I remember this vividly because this happened during a critical moment where they felt like Solana was breached or there was some panic within the ecosystem, things like that. That's how I knew it will recover. I didn't buy it myself. A friend of mine did. And that went up from the exact bottom, right? 2,700%. Now, let me put it into perspective. That's why I said this thread, which, okay, finally, it loaded up. It loaded up. This thread over here, I sent it 21 hours ago or 20. It's so important, guys. I want you all to read this. So important because here as well, I stated, where is it? For you, the moon is at a way higher price that probably won't happen in most cases. Why, for the smart investor, their definition of moon is now. And as you are, while you are, sorry, I wrote that wrong, while you are jumping on board and you're handing them over your funds for them to use as exit liquidity. Never forget this, right? Why do you need Solana to go to $1,000 while it has already done 2,700%? Because if you're asking the question, I already understand that you didn't buy the lows, right? So if we bought the, assuming that we bought the lows, right? Do you think that I will care about $1,000 for Solana? Fuck no, I'm up 2,700% already, right? And to $1,000, that's 12,000%, assuming that it does do it, right? But let's go back to the potential example, right, of you buying at $125, which for most people they bought while this was consolidating, but that's another story. For you, $1,000 Solana, it's just 700%. And I don't think this is realistic, by the way, right? And even if it is, we're not talking about the same gains. While you're making a 7x, somebody else that bought the lows is making 125x. Big difference, right? Guys, focus on your positioning and be on the right coins. Because look, that's the critical part of this whole season. What do you think of Arbitrum in the long run? In the longer run, define longer run, please. Are we talking about 5-10 years? Or are we talking about a couple of months? Or more specific, whole season? Drake Diary said, some sold a bottom $100, but for example, AR ICP could pump like Fildo. Yeah, okay, now you're talking about things that make a bit more sense to me, in my personal opinion. And I do agree with that, because you're talking about coins that people are not talking about right now. You know, in the last few days, I asked you guys on Involio to send me coin requests. You guys will not imagine how many people ask for Dogecoin, Pepe, and Peanut. Literally, so many people did. Why is that? Because, of course, when something is pumping, they feel like they need to jump in as well, because it feels cool to say, oh, look, my coin is pumping, bro. Okay, cool. What did you get in? How much is your position up? That's the question, right? That's the most important thing. How much money are you potentially going to be bringing home? So, you know, Solana, if anything, while it's trading at all-time highs, and then I will get to Arbitrum as well, you know, Solana, while it's trading over here, if anything, it's actually posing a bigger risk than most of you guys can realize. Let's assume that, well, Drake said that he bought it at $100, okay? Which maintains my example as valid. This is where he approximately bought. So he's up 125%. I don't know if he has taken profits along the way. I don't know how he's dealing with his position. Okay. But the low is over here. Okay. So assuming that he wants to hold for the all-time high, I don't know why that disappeared. Okay, cool. Sometimes it refreshes for some reason. Assuming that he's waiting for the all-time high, this trade over here already doesn't pay you as much if you're going to be investing in it, because your downside is significantly bigger. I'm not even aiming at the zero, because technically speaking, when you're investing, all your investments can potentially go to zero, right? If that zero is over here, that means that the stop loss will be over here. Of course, manual intervention can happen, okay? But this is just a visual representation of your current positioning, okay? This is your trade, Drake Diary, okay? You're currently up to here. So this is a 1.25 risk to reward ratio, what you got going on right now. You said that you want this to potentially reach $1,000, or can it reach? Let me actually rephrase that. If you consider, right, what I just said in terms of the percentage and how much it's already climbed up, I don't really agree with the possibility there, because if anything, right, from this low to the current high, which could potentially breach the all-time high, but that's another story for another day. Retracements actually start to happen within this region over here, which I'm going to be highlighting for you. I'm not using trend lines. I'm not going too specific with it. There's many other things that need to be factored in, okay? But I'm just giving you a visual representation of levels that you need to watch out for. Because if price that starts to make a deviation, right, and it goes down to here, what would be your reaction? This has went up. Let me put into perspective for you guys. You guys don't really use many other time frames, I believe. I could be wrong, but this is the 6 months time frame, and you can see that for the last 24 months, 2 years, right? This has been going up, non-stop, no significant major retracement, right? So, what are the odds of this continuing to happen all the way up to $1,000? If anything, I believe that a nice big pullback would be more beneficial for the future of Solana. Which is why my whole conversation when it comes to these altcoins goes back to this. Positioning is crucial. Your positioning will determine how much money you will actually make in this time around. Okay. So this is your focus, in my personal opinion. Understand that Solana has been already pumping a lot. 2,700% was achieved in the last 24 months. And, last time, for example, this is not the full chart, by the way, because this was pumping way before, and this started pumping from something like this. It then eventually went down 96%. I'm not saying that this has to drop this much this time around, but even the status of retrace from the current price, right, can set you back potentially even 70 to 80%. Even 50-60% will be a critical percentage that will start to make you feel like you need to take action on it. Emotional triggers, so to speak. Let's have a look at Arbitrum. My bad. Okay. Arbitrum, for example, is a way better pick than Solana, in my personal opinion, because while I have definitely checked this chart out in the past, and it doesn't follow my criteria to be added in my personal portfolio, I don't necessarily think that this is a bad play, because from its previous high, and I don't know if this is the full history of the token, I could need to go on a different chart. I don't know where this was initially released. This is a big wick, so I'm not going to be considering this. This also has a big wick, so the better chart at this moment in time will definitely be Coinbase. So this should be the all-time high, right? Essentially here what it did was, it created all-time high, then it wiped the previous all-time low, and it ended up creating another all-time low. So what can we take from this? That if anything, this is some sort of accumulation, right? We can also see that by the way the price is acting, somebody's accumulating this. If I have to give you guys a pattern, right, this will be the double bottom, right? And it could potentially lead you to something like this. I'm not saying that this is exactly how it will play out. I don't believe that this is how it will play out, okay? But, this has the capabilities of going up at some point, okay? And you can already see that if we were to drag our percentage tool, right? And this is the reason, one of the reasons why I'm not adding this to my portfolio. You are required to see a break to the all-time high to make any significant gains, because back to the all-time high, if you were to buy right now, that's only 300%. Okay, so I don't like to trade this type of coins, and well, not trade. Sorry, I wouldn't add this to my portfolio. I understand perhaps what could potentially be happening here, where we have had distribution and accumulation, and potential another push to the upside could be coming in the future for Arbitrum. But the problem that I have with these particular coins, right, is that you don't really have much to go off, okay? Besides perhaps a trend line such as this one. You don't have much information to work with. You know, this is a trend line that has already been retested, for example, so you cannot even use this. You need to cut a little bit more. And okay, now you have some sort of guidance to guide you to higher prices, and it will be this trend line in this case. Um, Due to where we are in the current day, assuming that we go up from here, which of course is not what I think it will happen. You know, that is still 440%. So, you know, I always go back to this, but this is so important, man. Guys, once you understand the importance of ROI, it will change everything for you. You know, let's go back to the new all-time low, right? All-time low to this projected current target that we have, which could definitely go higher, but you're still talking about 600%. And you're kind of betting that this will break the all-time high. Okay. If anything, right, you should be wanting this to go down, NFT Gazi, because if it goes lower, right, then you have a more interesting percentage, right? This is what I think about Arbitrum. I meant like end of 2025, but also longer, like 2 or 3 years. By what you just told me, I know that you haven't been in this game for a long time. Why am I saying that? Because look, you are in a speculative bubble at the end of the day. Crypto is completely speculative. Okay? It has nothing to do to something like the stock market. And the reason why I say that, right, is because when things go up, right, we get this idea that the continuation higher can continue for a long amount of time. And we start to say, well, I'm not going to be taking profits right now, because if it continues to go up like this in the next 2 or 3 years, it will be a much higher price. You're not buying Apple. You're not buying Google. You're not buying any sort of established company here. You're buying something with the belief that because there is a thing called Altseason, or a thing that is called crypto bull run, that this can continue for the next 2 or 3 years. What if in the next 2 or 3 years Tether collapses? What if crypto goes to zero? When is last time that we have had a speculative bull run of this nature, guys? Many of you guys were not even alive to witness that. And it was the dot-com bubble, where literally anything that had .com in the name was pumping like crazy. I will actually do this. Wow, I like the way that this live stream is actually going, because it allows me to make you guys understand things that normally, if I were to just talk about crypto, you may not actually understand. And by actually having this type of conversations, I can actually go back in time and show you things that perhaps you wouldn't have known before. Cool. So this is the Amazon chart, okay? back in 1998. And you can see that since inception, right, Amazon went actually up from its bottom, right, to the all-time high, right, approximately 8,500%. Okay, and how many people, right, do you believe asked a very similar question to what you just asked, right, and said, well, I could hold this for a few more years. And of course, people buy things when they move up. I just gave you the full percentage that this was able to do, but a lot of people didn't jump in until this moment over here, until it started to have a significant move to the upside, and it was getting advertising, right, everywhere. Okay, that's how the dot-com bubble has worked in the past, and this is how crypto works now. So assuming that somebody out there got a decent entry and they bought it over here, not only from to the very peak, that is only 360% compared to the 8,500% that we have just seen, right? Because it just kept on going higher and higher and higher, right? The prospect of holding this a little bit longer definitely started to pop up for a lot of people. What happened next? The dot-com bubble bursted. Okay, it went back to almost the very beginning. Okay, I'll put the line on it over here. You can see that it basically went back down to levels that it didn't see since 1997. Okay, and this happened in 2001. Okay, so how many years did it take this to recover? It took exactly 10 years, a full decade, just to go back to the previous all-time high. Now, when you say longer, like 2 or 3 years, if something like this were to happen for crypto as well, which I really believe that is the case, after the speculative run, of course, will you still be holding Arbitrum, and will you be DCAing at those prices? Let's be realistic. No, you're not doing that, because you will lose faith in cryptocurrencies. Will you wait for 10 years potentially for Arbitrum to pump? No. So decrease your expectations in terms of timelines, and be willing to sell your bags once the time is right, and run away as fast as you possibly can. That's how crypto works. Crypto is an ecosystem, right? Well, let's rephrase that. It's an asset class. Now, that sounds cooler. That does not have the regulations of a stock market. Many of the companies that are crypto companies have nothing to show beside their token. Many of these companies provide zero real world value, regardless of what you are told through announcements. And beside XRP, right, which I'm going to be covering in a second because El Capo asked my thoughts about XRP, they have nothing to show in the real world. Okay, so you need to understand that, look, if coins, right, go up, it is completely based on speculation. And I believe that the next bear market will wipe 99% of the altcoins. They will disappear. The same way that during the dot-com bubble crash, all these fake companies that had nothing to show, that were not building anything substantial, went to zero. They disappeared. But what did that allow to do? It allowed the real companies like Amazon to thrive. Look at what has happened to Amazon, right? Can't believe I'm on the daily. Let me go on the monthly. Amazon, right? After the dot-com bubble crash, right? And it formed this bottom of a year. Guys, Amazon has never looked back since. It went up to the current all-time high, went up 78,000%. But this percentage that you see over here on your screen would have not been possible if the dot-com bubble did not implode. Okay, crypto is due to the same fate, because at the beginning of the internet, right, there was this euphoric movement, right, about what could potentially happen next. Oh, this is new, this is cool, this can do this and that. You know, it's the same way for cryptocurrency. It's literally the same exact thing. What is the end goal of cryptocurrencies, guys? Do you know the actual end goal of crypto? Introduce a world that has nothing to hide anymore. Cash, right? Real world cash, cold hard cash, is still something that you can keep in private. You may be hiding it. You could potentially hide it, right? And the government won't necessarily know. Good luck hiding your crypto. Every single transaction that you do on the blockchain is tracked. Don't you think that the government perhaps wants to adopt something like this? I think they do. Now, because Tether has actually stepped on some important people's shoes, because Tether, what they do, and you see this happening almost every day now, is the printing of billions and billions of USDT, with the promise, allegedly, of being able to back up that amount of money with real dollars. But isn't the printing, or the minting as they call it, isn't the minting of USDT very similar to what the Federal Reserve is doing with the dollar? Now, do you think that the government is happy to know that somebody is printing billions and billions and billions and billions of their currency that they are able to swap for real world dollars? I think that is astonishing. I think that eventually, right, they will want to seize that, take it away from the Tether company, and only do it themselves. Why do you think that there is ongoing conversation, and this has already started, so it's not speculation or anything like that? Why do you think that CBDCs are a thing? What are CBDCs? Central bank digital currency. Essentially, what the CBDCs are going to be is a digitalized version of the USD, the euro, the yen, yuan, and all these different currencies. What does that tell you? That once the regulamentary framework, is that the correct word? But anyway, the regulations, okay? Once they have the framework ready to be deployed, man, it's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be nasty. People will lose faith in crypto. There won't be any more 4-year cycles. But that is what allows the ecosystem to put at a spotlight who is actually doing the things that they say they do. So hopefully I answered that question in great detail, NFT Gazi. XRP. Okay, obviously, I know why this question has been asked. It's pumping. Of course, you're gonna ask that question, my friend. XRP, what do I think about it? Let me go back and actually pull out this. Bitcoin should be good. I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison, okay? What I'm going to do is actually this, just so you guys understand what I'm looking at. Where is the background? I forgot what it is. Watermark. Cool. This is XRP. This is BTC. Okay. The one below is BTC. Let's go to the daily time frame. Let me actually add this once again. Let's have a look. When has XRP pumped before that has got everybody's attention? Here. What has the market done afterwards? Every single time that XRP pumps in a solo manner, because right now Bitcoin, I believe it's dumping. Yes, it is. XRP is going up. XRP, guys, in the crypto ecosystem is always the last coin to pump. Get it in your head. Every time XRP pumps solo in this manner, be scared, because it means that a market dump is coming. I just gave you some major alpha in this live stream, honestly. Go back in time. Do this for yourself. After XRP has pumped, right? It did a 48% decline. Bitcoin, that peaked over here as XRP started to pump, went down 32%. And at the beginning of the live, somebody asked me, yo, do you really think that Bitcoin can go down that much, bro? Fuck yes. Do you look at it? Do you see XRP what it's doing? Dude. By the way, welcome, John. Welcome, John. John, man, shout out to this guy. This guy's always present. He's even present on the free live stream. He's a VIP member. He has been literally so consistent with the count. This guy hasn't skipped a beat. So shout out to this guy. Have a look at what XRP has done in the past. Look. July of 2023. Major pump. XRP is not a security. People thought that it was gonna go to $3 fucking dollars or $30, $100. Look at what has happened next. In the meantime, Bitcoin started to dump, right? And it went down. Let me actually see exactly how much. 23%. XRP, what did it do? Went down, and it kept on going lower, by the way. But the very first dump, minus 52%. Look. Go back on the chart and look at what XRP has done every single time it pumped. It led the market to go lower. So why am I bearish? XRP is pumping, bro. I think the XRP is setting a major trap. The higher this goes, the bigger it's gonna cause the market to drop. XRP is one of these coins that never moves. So when it moves, it gathers the attention of the world crypto market. Who understands it knows what to do. The rest will FOMO in and suffer the consequences. Guys, I'm gonna take a sip of water. Give me a little bit of time. Guys, if you are enjoying this live stream, I want you all to go on Involio and share your thoughts about the live so that next time we can get more people in this. If you got anything that is valuable from this live stream, please do me a favor. share your thoughts on Involio so that more people will be encouraged watching these live streams, because it's me giving you my time for free, and that's literally the only thing that I ask from you. If you want more of this and you want to see what I'm doing and you want to learn it, of course there is the VIP. Okay, you'll find the links below. But other than that, I mean, it's completely free, and I think that it's value packed. And I'm just giving you stuff, right, that I truly believe is helpful for you. I'm not sugarcoating shit. I say things how they are, and I put my money where my mouth is. Okay, so it doesn't really get better than that, in my personal opinion. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Uh, mm, I gotta fill my water bottle. Thank God I'm trained for this stuff. With all the live streams and videos that I do on a weekly basis, I'm trained to speak for hours without a sip of water, but at some point you need it. One last question. Trump name RFK Jr. as Secretary of Health and Human Services, and most of stocks crash. Do you think it's good opportunity to buy them if you can find low enough stocks that you believe can go higher? Absolutely, yes. It's literally what I'm doing. I mean, I share my stock portfolio in the VIP for this particular reason, and we have so many stocks that I really want to buy. There's at least 10 more that I want to add in my portfolio, but honestly, right now the focus for me is altcoins. Um, Snake thought about BTC and now long for the correction because the market is so boring now. The market is boring because the capital is being used to pump XRP, which will drag the market back down. Zaidi, welcome. If anyone is joining right now, honestly, look, I'm about to end this. I've been live streaming for an hour and 38. Either go back and watch it from the beginning, or you can watch the replay. Honestly, watch it all, guys. Watch it all. I mean, I don't think that I've wasted your time today. I'm giving you guys the alpha, the free alpha. Of course, there's things that I cannot share because I respect the people that support me and support what we do over here. But literally, what I'm saying is stuff that I deem as valuable and that I know that you guys can take and actually make life-changing gains this time around, if you understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Bitcoin. Where is Bitcoin? I never remember which is the correct chart. It's insane. Not this one. I never seem to get the right one, dude. Because I'm on a different layout. This is not the one that I use for everybody. This is the one that I use for the free lives. Not this one. Um, was it Kraken, dude? Yeah, this one. So Bitcoin, I think it's dumping as we expected. Nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah, these wicks are gonna be filled. More downside is coming, in my opinion. If I'm able to see another drive to the upside, as I said before, I will this year even more, moving the stop loss higher because I trust in this short. Um, Perhaps not even moving the stop loss. I will see. I will update you guys. Uh, How long for the correction, dude? You're asking a question that if I knew, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna will be online. I will probably be in I don't know, an island sipping martini all day, something like that. I don't know how long it will take, dude. Doesn't matter. I'm in the trade. I'm bearish. So yeah. Sadly, there is a delay between when I say something and when you guys see it. So I'm just gonna wait for chat to show something here. Otherwise, we're gonna be wrapping this up. Um, let's see if anything interesting comes up because yeah, I mean it's a boring market at this moment in time. Not much to do. What I wanted to share today in this live stream has been shared, so I'm just waiting to see if anything interesting comes up. Actually, let me see. Send some more questions, guys. I'm gonna be writing this. There is a bit of a delay. Something, and when you all see it. Let's see if we can get a couple more questions, gang. Otherwise, we're gonna be wrapping this up. I didn't want to exceed an hour and 30 in the first place, and now can I have? Let's see if I can finish off soon. Involio is popular. Cool. I see you guys posted on Involio. Appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. It's literally all I ask for. I mean, if I can help somebody, Alex, make a sandwich to go with the water. But as I was saying, if I can help somebody, it gives me fulfillment. It gives me something to look out for. Why do I do this in the first place? It's for this reason. Like, I don't mean to brag when I say it, but I am good. I'm 24 years old. I'm doing good in life. I could, just party or whatever or the people in my age do. But, the reason why I'm here is because I understand that this journey is very lonely. And that is why I created Profit Magnets in the first place. Because I wanted to give people, right, that feeling of a community. And while we may not have met in real life just yet, but it is coming. After the Altseason, we'll do a real life meetup, probably in Dubai, by the looks of it. But it's very pleasing for me to see that we gather and we share things and thoughts, right, about something that we are both passionate about. So thank you so much, Mystery, for the service. Shout out to Mystery. Mobin has been a huge helping hand for Profit Magnets. He is our moderator. This guy is setting himself up for success. So big shout out goes to Mystery T. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your service. And I'm very lucky. All of us at Profit Magnets are very, very lucky to have you in our team. Okay. Jeremiah said, I'm a complete beginner, but even I can understand how you're explaining things. Yes, because, and I've got compliments based on how I talk. I put things in a very simple manner for everybody to understand. Sometimes I talk slow, but it's in a way that everybody understands what I talk about. If I were to say, oh no, the point of control is over here because the VWAP didn't go down to here, so we are going to be seeing a retracement based on the liquidations. Like, are you going to take anything valuable from it if you're a beginner? No, because you will not be able to decipher the information that I'm giving you. So I put this everything that you guys have been asking me throughout the live, right? I put it in a very, very simple manner, in a way that you can actually take something from it. And all my content is actually done in this manner, unless it's content that requires a bigger level of understanding. But that, of course, comes with time. That's why we have the Profit Managed course, which is going to be released in English for everybody asking. Got many questions about that. It's coming. The only thing is that I've done it in Italian as well, and I basically need to create the content once again. Welcome. There's a bunch of people joining us now. 8 people. Okay. I think that was peaking a little bit earlier. Welcome, dollar to Bitcoin. I'm about to wrap up, honestly. And as I said to the people that are joining us now, honestly, go back to the beginning of this live stream, watch it all, don't skip. It's very useful information. If you guys are coming from the Involio because you've seen people talking about it, there is a very good reason for them doing so. Okay, so make sure that you watch it from the beginning. Don't skip. Watch it all, and that's how you get the information that I wanted to communicate with you guys in this live stream. And it seems like you guys are enjoying this concept, so we will do more of them. Potentially tomorrow. I don't want to spoil it, and I won't, but we may have an important podcast tomorrow, maybe. I don't know if it's gonna go through tomorrow just yet, or if we need to wait a little bit more. Dollar to Bitcoin. What will you do with Peanut at the moment? Go and watch the live stream because I covered all of that. I covered all of that. And if you saw my thread from yesterday, you will know what I think about it and how I will act on it. Yeah, you lost money? Why? Why did you lose money, guys? Why did he lose money? Because he didn't read this thread. Do you guys see I don't want to brag when I say this stuff. I really hope it doesn't come out as bragging. But I talk from experience. I've been trading for 7 fucking years. I apologize for my wording. I understand why you guys are chasing these pumps, because it feels like your portfolio isn't doing much. Or if you feel like you're missing out, go and read this thread. Go on my profile on Involio, read this thread, come back and tell me, Alex, you were right. 4-minute delay, that is crazy. That is crazy. Sad. Before I answer sad, Med Zaidi asked, hi bro, I'm new to trading, welcome. And I have $30. What do you think it's best to do with it? Honestly, no matter what you try to do, $30 won't change your life in cryptocurrency. I don't know where you're from. If you're from a third world country, then that could potentially be considered like important money, or money that you're not going to be losing like that. First of all, learn. Okay, learning is your best bet. Second of all, avoid leverage trading with real money. Okay, you're putting yourself at a risk when you are a beginner and don't know what trading is and how it works. And third, it may sound harsh, but don't trade with leverage following people from Involio. And I have nothing against people from Involio, but you are enticed to take a lot of trades. Okay, and you don't know how risk management work or even what that is at this moment in time. So focus on your learning. Learn a lot, as much as you possibly can, and invest that money wisely. After consuming the free content that I've made, I will never tell you to join my VIP with $30, because it's not, you cannot even cover the cost of it. But follow the free content. I give plenty of free useful advice, of real advice, and using that advice that I'm giving you for free, you will know how and where to place yourselves for the altcoins when the time is right, and things have pumped. Don't shy away from taking profits. Once you're taking profits and you're selling all of your positions, don't look back. Okay, if you're not from a third world country and you are just testing the ground with $30, either if you don't have it, find a job, or if you have a job, stack some money for more serious investing. Okay, it really depends on your situation, because if you have a job, I will also tell you, perhaps consider the VIP, because that allows you to see my portfolio and all of that stuff right there. Especially if you're going to be adding more money to your portfolio, it really depends on that. That's why I'm giving you a bunch of mixed answers. But sad asked, and I'm gonna be. Fuck! I just read the question and I was about to say I'm gonna be wrapping off the live stream there. But I don't like when you guys ask me when do you think Bitcoin dominance will drop, bro. I don't have a timeline to give